Assalamu alaikum. Eid is just around the corner, and we thought we will come up with something special for the Eid. Although Eid is not going to be the same as usual, since we are going through this disastrous time, pandemic. But life goes on. We do celebrate it in one way or the other. So let me present to you today a recipe which is commonly used, or the dish that's commonly eaten throughout the world, and that is biryani. So we're going to make mutton biryani today, and I'll show you each and every step of this recipe so that it makes it easier for you to follow and cook this dish as a perfectionist. So we're going to divide this recipe into 4 different parts just to make it very easy for you guys. First, the marination of the meat. The second one will be cooking the meat with masala. Third one will be cooking the rice, and the fourth one will be layering them and steaming them. So if you follow these steps, it's very extremely easy to make the biryani. So let's start. So talking about marinating the meat, it's a known fact. The longer you marinate the meat, or anything for that matter, for made meat or chicken or whatever you're using, the longer you marinate it, the better taste it gives you. So what I've done is I've marinated the meat last night. We made a little video of it. I'm just going to insert the video in between, and then we'll move further. For the marinade, we take some yogurt, add some ginger and garlic to it, a little bit of whole jeera, few green chilies. I have around 6 here. You have an option to choose your own quantity. Remember, there will be red chili powder also when we make the dry masala. So green chilies, few mint leaves, a little bit of garam masala, amount of green dhania. As you can see, I have taken the stems here because the flavor lies in them. So rather for if you grinding or liquidizing something, make use of those stems. So that goes in. Tiny bit of water. We're ready to go. And let's pour the mixture over to our meat. I have got 1 kilo meat. So here we go. And right at the end, please don't forget to add the salt. We can more or less, it doesn't really matter, because when we cook we can taste it actually. Mix it once again nicely. Let's just wrap it with cling wrap and put it away in the fridge for whatever time we need to, until we make the biryani video tomorrow. Okay, so welcome back the next day. Now we're going to start cooking. Add some oil to a pan, add some extra oil because we're going to fry the onion, and later on we will take out the extra oil that's in the pot. So the oil is hot. Let's add the onions to it. I will give you the exact quantity of the onion, how many onions I've used, in the description, so you don't get confused. Just mix it, and we're going to fry this onion until it's golden brown. You can see it's browning nicely. We'll brown a little more. That's a beautiful color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some onion from here for garnishing purpose. So let's take out some in a colander. As I said, we're going to remove the excess oil. In this balanced onion in the pot, we're going to add the tomatoes, salt. What happens is the salt helps the tomatoes to melt quicker. So a little bit of salt. Remember, we have already used salt or added salt in our marinade, so please be careful here. And then we let it cook until the tomatoes and the onion will mix together nicely, cook to a paste or like mushy, and then we will add the masala to it. So while our onion and tomatoes are cooking, let's make the dry masala. So dhania powder around 1.5 tablespoon, cumin powder or jeera powder, turmeric powder. Here I'm using paprika instead of chili powder. You can use plain simple chili powder as well, but I'm using smoked paprika that gives you that smoky taste to the masala. So I'm using around 1.5 teaspoons. Some meat masala, it's optional. If you have it, use it. If not, it doesn't really make any difference. At the end, don't forget the garam masala. And let's add the juice of half a lemon to it. Mix it. Add a little bit of water until you get a nice smooth paste of it. That's our dry masala mix. So the tomatoes are almost cooked. Let's add our dry masala mixture to it. I try and avoid water as much as possible in this dish because we need to have the meat has to be dry, the masala has to be dry. So try and avoid the water as much as possible unless you really have to add the water. So we're going to cook this now, braise it nicely, this masala, and then we will move further. So we have cooked this masala, braised it rather, until the wild smell of the masala, the spices is gone and the oil has started to release. So now we're going to add the meat. Here we go, our nicely marinated meat for almost 24 hours. So I'm going to add that to the mixture, and remember there's yogurt in the marinade, so we're not going to add any water here. Little bit, we're just going to rinse this bowl and add that masala water to it. So one request or consider as warning, please do not close this pot. If you close it, it's going to generate water and you're going to struggle to dry that water. So if you do need to add water, if you feel it's still burning or something, add a little bit of water yourself, because you can control amount of water you throw in rather than the water that's being generated by this mixture. So please do not close it, let it open on a medium-high heat and let the meat cook. While the meat is cooking, we're going to be multitasking. We're going to do some other things. So let's move on. So while our meat is cooking, I'm going to give you a bonus recipe. In fact, I was going to make a separate video out of it, but since we're making biryani and it goes with the biryani, so let me show you how to make the raita with the biryani, that goes with the biryani. So for that, we'll take some yogurt, then we have some grated carrots, grated cucumber, and finely chopped onion into small, very thin cubes. A little bit of green chilies, very finely chopped. It's optional. If you don't want, you avoid it. raita without green dhania is no good. And a little bit of salt to taste. Mix it nicely. Just to add a little bit of flavor to it. It's optional. If you don't have it, it's okay. But it makes a bit of difference. A bit of chaat masala. If you don't have it, it's okay. And finally, some green dhania on top, just for the show look, because we already have added dhania to it, but just to look nice. Meantime, I have washed and soaked the rice, and at least for 20 to 25 minutes, that's enough. So our meat has cooked now, and you can see the masala is very thick. It's beautiful, the biryani. There's one tip I would like to give you. If you feel that your masala is too watery, what you can do is you can boil one potato, mash it soft completely, and add to it. That will actually thicken your masala, and you won't even notice that something else was added to it. The potato was added to it. So don't panic. You don't need to panic. Just add one or two potatoes. Depends how watery. It can go watery for any reason. You know, by mistake you close it, or too much of yogurt, or anything for that matter. So it's okay. That's not a problem. So off goes the heat, and we will put this aside. So let's move on to cooking the rice now. I have some water here, and I'm going to add, for 1 kilo rice, take at least 5 teaspoons of salt. A little bit extra doesn't matter, because we're going to boil this rice too much of water. So your water should actually taste like seawater or salty water. So there goes the salt in, and we'll add some more ingredients to it. Few pieces of stick cinnamons. Sprinkle some cardamom powder, and then let's add some oil so that the rice keep their social distancing and don't stick to each other. Couple of bay leaves. Put a lid on it so that it boils. The water boils quicker. While our water is boiling there, we're going to fry some cashew nuts and almonds. Don't fry too much. Just give it a little brownish color. It's a royal dish, so obviously we have to use the expensive fruit in there as well. There we go. We're just gonna give it a bit of brown tinge to it. Take it out. Then some raisins. Some people don't like it because it's sweet. I just like a bit of sweet tinge to it. So don't, just a little bit. As soon as they start swelling up, that's it. Switch off your heat and then take it out just like that. Dry fruit for the garnishing. On the other hand, our water is boiling for the rice, so let's add the rice into it. Our rice is almost done. We're not going to cook the rice 100%, because remember we are going to steam it as well. So let's pour the rice out, and here we go. It's beautiful. It's each and every grain is separate. So this is how the biryani rice should be. Okay, so in a bowl I have taken some water. I'm going to add some orange food coloring to it. Also we're going to add a little bit of kevra water to it. It gives you nice fragrance to the biryani. Instead of doing separate, we're just doing all in one. Just maybe 1 tablespoon or so. we can add the saffron to the same mixture here. So instead of adding everything separately, sometimes you forget also. So instead of doing that, we just make one mixture and then we use it for the garnishing at the time of the garnishing. I have some sliced potatoes. I'm going to place them inside. Reason, we don't want the rice to burn. Second reason, if this potato is not burnt to charcoal, believe me, it's very tasty to eat. So this is the base I'm going to make of this potato. We add first layer of rice. It's not a lot actually, just to cover the base of a couple of inches. So a little bit more. There we go. We're just going to cover the base now. On top of this layer, we're going to add a little bit of our dried fruit, mint leaves, some liquid of water and saffron and whatever mixture we made. We add that also. Nice and crispy fried onion to it. Obviously some dhania, green dhania. Top of this goes our meat and the masala. So we have spread the masala on the top of the rice. And now we're going to add the top layer of the rice. So that's our final top layer of the rice. And now we're going to repeat the same process what we did in the first layer. Whatever remaining nuts we have, we're going to add to it. Also some mint leaves on top. Also some kevra water and some saffron mixture as well. There we go. Now just to add some moisture to the rice, we're going to add some blobs of ghee, or if you don't have ghee, you can by all means use butter as well. So we don't want the biryani to be very dry, so because our masala is lying underneath, not on top. And then obviously the fried crispy onion on top, and then nice amount of dhania on top of it. And there we go, our biryani is ready to be steamed. So now at this stage we're going to close the pot, put it on a low, very low heat for at least 25 minutes to half an hour, and then our biryani will be, when your steam should come up, when you open the lid, your rice should be, your food should be steaming up. That's when you know your biryani has steamed properly and it's ready to consume. So that was our biryani, mutton biryani. It was quite a lengthy process, but I hope I made it worth the while for you to follow and cook the dish as perfect as possible. And enjoy it and take care of yourself and your family. Until we see you next time, Salama.